Right, so welcome to the next section of this demo series, and this one is about sales training. So if you are looking at this, you might be struggling with, people who are really good with your industry, but knowledge, but they don't really have a sales process. Maybe you don't have a sales process. Perhaps you're leaning on individual sales processes. You got guys who are, some are really good talkers, some are really technical, but there isn't any kind of question, definition, defined process that you as an owner or a sales manager or a salesperson yourself can hold yourself to create the right habits. One thing that we talk about at FollowUp Power is habits. There's, studies say that it takes anywhere from 8 to 266 days to form a habit. And so when we want to create good habits to improve closing ratios, you have to bring some visibility to that, and you have to have content, you have to have some sort of resources to make that integrated into everybody in your company. And the worst thing is not training your salespeople, right? It's like, it says, man, well, that's expensive. Thankfully, we made it very inexpensive, but let's pretend it was, right? It sounded it. Let's pretend it was tens of thousands of dollars. And you say, well, that sounds expensive. Well, what's expensive is giving salespeople leads that aren't trained, right? That's expensive because then you got leads they're falling through the cracks. They're not qualifying. Your closing ratio is garbage. They don't have any goal attainment, any type of structure in their lives, but yet they're really personable and they're really nice and they know a little bit about your company, about your trade. So what we want to do is bring a resource center, a university, so that you can train. Now let me talk about how it in the software it applies. So you see right here that there's projects that have been what we call pre-qualified. We say this: if you pre-qualify hard, you're going to close easy. Okay, how do you pre-qualify effectively? What do you do? Well, there's what we talk about is there's 5 major milestones, major steps in what we call the stairway to victory. And if you can do these steps, you're going to have success, guaranteed. Unless you put a guy who or girl who just has no people skills, no emotional intelligence whatsoever, and then you go out there and have them do it. At least they'll be a D player turn into a C player. But what we want to do is create a culture, help you create a culture where your sales training is so consistent, so habitual, so that you guys can all start to succeed without having to bid more. I mean, the power is if you can bid less and win more, that's what everyone would love that, right? Because it costs money to put a bid together. It costs money to get leads. So when you talk about relating and connecting, that's step 1. Well, that's building initial rapport, strengthening existing rapport. I talk about this in another video on keeping your salespeople accountable. But these steps are repeatable in the system. They're built in, and it shows you if they're taking those steps. So how do you get the content? How do people learn that? Well, we have a university, and my name's Ryan. That's actually me right there. This is a little intro video. I'm not going to play it here for this demo, but I've personally been in over 100 companies, hundreds of companies, dealt with hundreds of salespeople, teaching them this process. And guys, time and time again, when we implement it, you role play it, they get better. And if they're getting better, you're winning, they're winning, everyone's happy. So invest in the training. Don't waste time. And money on not training your people and putting precious leads and precious opportunities in the hands of somebody who's not going to take good care of it. So how do you do it? Well, we have a workbook, and this is great. So, well, I need to enroll here. Didn't enroll in the demo, but what we have is these are videos and a workbook for introducing Greg Wallach, who started getting this process, him and I together, getting this thing going. We help you he tells his story, and then we talk about sales habits, we talk about mental frameworks, we talk about qualify hard, close easy as an introduction, and then we talk about all the steps. So relating and connecting, establishing the rules of engagement, we break it up in a couple of parts. Finding the problems, we break it up into a couple of parts. Asking about the money, asking about the decision process, presenting the problems, following up, follow through. So what we've done is we've spent a lot of time on this and made it very affordable and put it online so that you have something to work with. I mean, sure, it's really great to send somebody to your local sales trainer. Let us be that for you, because we speak to the construction industry. We have a best practice tip of the week. We're building out more libraries here, and we have already built out so much, so you have a resource center to ultimately turn your construction company into a dynamic, successful sales organization. And we've paved the way. We'd like for you to follow us. So train your sales guys, make it habitual. I'm telling you, you're going to see a 27% increase in their results if you train them. Those statistics are something I talk about. With good coaching to a sales process and training, you'll see improvement go up 27%. Don't let your guys go blind. Make sure they feel like they have a roadmap to their success when they're out there spending their time, your time, their money, your money, out there trying to have success and be great. And so that's a little bit about the Stairway to Victory sales training and how it ties directly into the software so that you can ensure that your sales guys or people bringing in, whatever you call them, are doing the right things, the right behaviors, so you guys can have success. So best of luck. And also, this is, if you didn't know, this is a free trial situation with FollowUp Power. You can try us for free. You just set up a call. Let's make sure you guys have capacity to get this going and try it right. And we'll be here. We'll make sure we give you the pathway here as we guide you into building a great team or making you better than you already are. All right, cheers.